Greetings one and all, welcome back to another tutorial. It's been a while since I've done any kind of tutorials here on my channel. Probably the last tutorial that I did that really had any impact on anybody was my Simple Screen Recorder tutorial, which I am using Simple Screen Recorder right now to capture this video, but we're not going to talk about Simple Screen Recorder today. We're going to talk about OBS. Simple Screen Recorder works very well. As a matter of fact, I still use it from time to time for a lot of different things that I do. But for my gameplay videos, I have been using OBS. Now, OBS is a very lightweight, it's a very fairly simple program to use, and it's very good at capturing individual windows, individual inputs, individual everything, and bringing them all together to package into one location, either for editing for YouTube or live streaming to either Twitch or YouTube or whatever your live stream service is. So we're going to talk a little bit about how to install this today on Linux, because I do use Linux Mint. I use Mint 17. But to get it, what you need to do is you need to go to Open Broadcaster, I'm sorry, not Open Broadcaster, but obsproject.com. When you go to obsproject.com, you're going to get this this window here. If you're a straight Windows user, you can click right here. It'll download the exe, and you can download OBS, and away you go. For Linux users, Mac OS, and also Windows 7 and 8 that want the multi-platform version, you can download that right over here. So we're going to go to Linux. Now, when you go to Linux, it's going to ask you to select a version. We're going to go over here. If you're an Ubuntu user or a Linux or a Mint user, you can go to Ubuntu 14.04. It's got instructions over here for Arch Linux users, OpenSUSE, Gentoo, and then you can also build it from the source if you're so inclined to do so. But since we're on Linux Mint, and most of the people that watch me probably are looking on from Ubuntu, let's look at that. So there's a couple of things that you got to do. The first thing you got to do is you got to make sure that you have the newest version or a special version of FFmpeg to get the video to encode properly. So you have to actually add a PPA. So you're going to add this repository right here, and you got to do that using terminal. So you go into the terminal, you copy this, you paste it right here, you run it. It's going to have you in since it's a sudo command, you're going to have to input your password. And you'll do that for the repository to add it, then you'll update and install FFmpeg. Okay. Then you come down here and actually install OBS. So you'll do another repository edition, and that's going to be for OBS project. Again, it might ask you for a password. If you do it fairly quick, then your password shouldn't time out. But then you do another update and you install OBS project. Okay. You must install FFmpeg first. Don't try to run this all as one command. Do the FFmpeg install first, then do the OBS Studio install separately. If you try to do them together, you may corrupt OBS Studio. I had that problem early on because sometimes you can actually, you can add the repositories, you can update everything, and then when you go to install, it doesn't necessarily install in the right order, and that can cause things to not work right. Now, we're not going to do this here live on camera because I've already done it, but that's what you need to do. So apt-add repository for FFmpeg, install FFmpeg. Apt-add repository OBS, install OBS. Okay, everybody clear on that? Outstanding. Okay, after we've done that, you should have a icon for OBS Studio in your menus. Okay, I put mine down here on my hotbar because, well, that's where I launch it from all the time. So, but then when you launch it, you should end up with a blank screen. Okay, you should have one scene here that says scene 1, and that's it. And there's probably not going to be a whole lot in it. Now you can update these scenes to be anything you want them to be. So a scene is nothing more than a group of recording parameters. So as you can see, I've got one for recording. That's what I use to actually record my gameplay. Okay, so I got an audio input from the computer, I've got an audio input from my microphone, and I've got a window capture for my Minecraft window. Okay, I've got another one here for vlog. Whoop, hey, go away there. Got another one here for vlog, and that's going to be just for video capture for my channel updates. Okay, Then we got another one here for YouTube live stream. We've also got one for full desktop if I want to do tutorials using that. But since I'm doing an OBS tutorial, I can't actually use OBS to do the tutorial for OBS. I got to use Simple Screen Recorder. What I'm going to do here today is I'm going to show you how to add a scene. Okay, so you want to add a scene. We're going to go here and we're going to say plus. Okay, what do we want to call the scene? Well, let's call this scene Twitch, because I'm going to show you how to set this up to stream live to Twitch. I'm also going to show you how to set it up for the YouTube live stream as well. Okay, so click OK, and it's going to give you a scene with blank sources. So as we saw up here, you've got sources, that's what the inputs are, and then you've also got a mixer. So anything that's going to give you sound is going to show up over here in the mixer. So go back to Twitch. We come up here under sources, we're going to add a source. Well, the first source that we're going to need is some kind of either screen or window capture. Since we're going to be streaming a game to Twitch, we want to do a window capture. All right, so we say OK, like so. And it's going to give us this blank red screen. Now, I do want to do one thing real quick, and that is we're going to add... Yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to go to here, and we're actually going to launch the Minecraft screen. We're not going to record any gameplay or anything, but I want you to see what this does. Okay, so get this popped up real quick, and then come back to OBS. What do we want to capture? Well, if we click on that, it gives us a listing of all of the windows that are open in our screen, and we might have to do this again. We might have to refresh it. So go here, go Properties, and then go here. Yeah, so now we can choose Minecraft 1.8.6. Do that, and this is what we get. Everything shows up red that's supposed to be water. Everything that's supposed to be rock or dirt is showing up blue. Well, there's a reason for that. We have to go back in here and swap red and blue. So now the water shows red, the dirt shows brown, everything looks the right color. Okay, that's what we want. So we say OK. We come back out here, we size it so that it's the right size for the window. Okay. But all that's going to do for us now is that's going to record the video. It's not going to get any of the game audio, so we have to do plus again. And we're going to do audio input, or audio output capture. That's coming from the game. All right, so we do this, and yep, we're just going to say OK. We're going to come in here and we're going to tell it what audio we want. You always want to select monitor of whatever you're listening to the game in. So like right now I'm listening to everything in my headphones. So I want to select my headphones as the source for the audio that we're trying to capture. Say OK. And now you can see that there's an output capture right here, and it is capturing whatever's coming from my desktop. Okay. It's also capturing my voice, because using Simple Screen Recorder, I've got to turn the loopback feature on, which means everything that I say I'm actually hearing in my headphones. It's kind of annoying. That's one of the other reasons why I don't necessarily like using Simple Screen Recorder, but it gets the job done. So that gets us the game audio. Now we need to get microphone. So we come in here and we say we want an audio input capture. So we click on that. Say OK. Where do we want to get that from? Well, we want to get it from our USB microphone. Say OK. So now we've got an audio input right here. We've got the audio output from the game here, and we are good. We are golden. If that's all we need, then that's all we need. Now, if we want to put our voice on there or not our voice, but our face on there, like in a corner or something, we can come down here and we can say select video capture device. That'll turn your webcam on. You can also put in media sources. So if you've got some kind of media input or whatever, you can capture that. You can do all kinds of things. You can actually even add text. So let's do a free-form text, and let's just do this. We'll just say follow us on Twitter at rightwingrb. Say OK, and it'll put that wherever you want to put it. So normally I'll just put mine right up here in the center. You can do all kinds of different things. If I'm doing a live stream, I'll put my camera, my webcam down here in the corner, or maybe in the upper corner or whatever. So that's how you would do that. Now, there are some settings that you have to have that are correct for this. So in order to do that, you got to come over here to Settings, General, nothing to that. You can leave that as English and a default theme, but you do have to have stream. Now for stream, you want to set that for Twitch. Okay, so when you set it for Twitch, it's going to give you a list of all of the different Twitch servers. You want to find the server that is closest to you. So if you're on the West Coast, then maybe you want to use the Los Angeles server. If you're on the East Coast, like the Northeast, maybe you want to use either the New York or the Virginia Twitch server. If you're in the Southeast, maybe you want to use the Miami, Florida, or the Virginia server, or even the Dallas, Texas server. So find the server that's closest to you, because that's going to give you the best ping values, and the ping values are what's going to determine how much of a delay there is between what you do and when it goes live to Twitch, if that makes any sense. Okay, so pick whatever server is best for you. Then you need to input your stream key from Twitch. Well, how do you find that? That's pretty simple. You come over to your Twitch account, and you want to make sure that when you get there that you go to your account name and then dashboard. That's where we're at right now. When you go to dashboard, you got a bunch of headings right here across the top. The one you want to find is your stream key. Now when you click on stream key, it's not going to show you your stream key. What it is going to show you is a warning that anyone that has this key can broadcast to your channel. There's no security on it whatsoever. If they've got this key, they can put anything they want on your channel. Okay? So when you get here, then you can click show key. Not going to show you my key. Okay. What it's going to show you though is a big long string of characters. It's going to be numbers and letters and all that good stuff. You have to copy that. When you copy that, then you bring it over to OBS and you'll paste it right there in your stream key. Okay. When you've done that, you're essentially ready. Okay. You're essentially ready to broadcast to Twitch. Now, what if you don't want to broadcast to Twitch? What if you want to broadcast to, I don't know, say YouTube? Okay, well, when you go to YouTube, it's going to give you a choice of two different servers. You've got your primary and you've got your backup. I always go with the primary. But then you have to have the stream key. Well, where do I get the stream key from? Well, the stream key actually comes from your video manager. So in your YouTube account, you go to My Account, and you get to your Creator Studio, and then you go under Video Manager to Live Events. Now, I don't have any live events right now, but we can create a mock one real quick. You go to click on Create New Event. You give it a little title. You do have to have a title. That's all you have to have. If you don't fill out anything else, at least fill out the title. Okay, and it's going to ask you when do you want to go live. So you can select a time. You can even put an end time on there if you want, and then you say Create Event. Okay, and when you create event, it's going to bring you back to, here we go. It's going to bring you back to a page where you can select a thumbnail, you can add a camera for it, but we want to come down here to where it says select bitrate. So you select the bitrate, and then whatever bitrate you want to broadcast in is what you would select. So I do all of my videos in 720. This setting is going to depend on a couple of things. Number one, do you want high definition video at the end of your recording? Because anything that you do as a live event, you can also publish to your YouTube channel later on for public consumption as an actual video. Okay? But it also depends on your bandwidth. So if you don't have a really good internet connection, you want to make sure that this setting is less than what your upload speed is. Okay, so if you've only got a 5 gigabyte or a 5 megabyte upload speed, you're not going to want to choose a 6,000 kilobyte speed to upload it for, because it's just not going to be able to keep up. So if you're working with DSL where maybe you only have 2 or 3, you might want to come down here to the 400 or 300 setting. Okay, I've got a decent setting, so I've got a decent upload speed, so I can always do 720. All right, but that's what's important about that. If that number is greater than what you can upload safely through your connection, then you're going to have issues. Okay, so you select whatever you want, and then it's going to say event saved successfully, and it's going to give you some data. The one thing that's important here, this right here, you're going to use this right here to upload to your channel. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go in here and I'm going to cancel this, and I'm going to delete this because I don't want anybody uploading to my channel. Okay, if there's no live event, then it goes away. So we're going to delete that. just like that. Confirm, yes. All right, now I think that'll do it. The only other thing that I'd like to show you is if you want to record video, it's going to ask you a couple of things. What's the output mode, simple or advanced? I always do simple. No reason to go with advanced. It's going to ask you where do you want to save the video, what kind of bit rate and everything. It's going to ask you some things about audio. Perfect. Video capture, what are you going to use to capture it? I use OpenGL. What's your resolution? What's the scaled resolution? You can also map out hotkeys in the newest version for Linux, for the multi-platform version. And then there's some things down here in advanced that I've never had to mess with. So there you have it, folks. That is how you set up and use OBS on Linux. The process is very similar for Windows. So if you're a Windows user, you can pretty much follow those instructions on how to configure it. You will have a few different views, like your audio inputs are not going to look like this. They're going to actually be kind of a scaled, bar type design going up the side of your picture. But other than that, the settings are essentially the same. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, make sure you leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe. If you got any questions at all, feel free to ask. I am always available for questions. I've had many questions about the simple screen recorder tutorial that I did before, and I've tried to stay interactive with those folks that have asked questions over there, and I want to be the same way over here because, being able to put content out there for people to enjoy is something that I really have a passion for, and if you do too, I'm just glad that I could help you guys out and get that started. So until next time, thanks so much for watching, and until we meet again, I will catch you on the flip side. See you later. Bye-bye.